Hey, Robert, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What can you tell me about Tantra?
Tantra. Well, most people think that Tantra just sucks. To the Neoplatonic guys like Iamblichus, Tantra or magic always begins by being selfless, emptying yourself of desire and fear, and invoking your higher self or a God or a virtue. When Jesus says, "Do you not know ye are gods in the becoming?" He tells this to the apostles. Do you not know you're gods from the Old Testament? To the Plato guys and Neoplatonists and Gnostics, the word gods meant virtues. Do you not know your virtues in the becoming? Your the 7 chakras and your virtues. And the ultimate virtue, prajna paramita, is the emptiness, the selflessness that can see the Atma Buddha Manas, the 3, the selflessness that can see the space, the last frontier, like in Star Trek, but it's inner space. It's a certain selflessness so that we can look at the suffering and arouse compassion and a will to do something about it. And that kind of like valor and bravery is no good. That kind of passion is no good unless we like are wise. And wisdom is a certain kind of selflessness, like a certain kind of stillness that you can like kind of just stop your mind and take a look at what's going on. And so you see the suffering that goes on around the world and you have compassion. But in kind of an anthroposophical Rudolf Steiner way, we kind of hold ourselves back from just falling in with false sympathy, and we hold ourselves back, and we have like a desire and a calling for like the courage to keep learning. The Michaelic, Archangel Michael, courage to keep learning. The Manjushri, the Buddha with a sword of wisdom, so that we can keep learning and we can differentiate with the sword the real from the unreal and the truth from lies and the real friend from the not friend and you know, something more eternal from the temporal. I mean, eventually we can learn to see the eternal workings of many lifetimes and the golden thread that goes through all the lifetimes. We can see the holy that moves through things. Eventually we can learn to see this, and that we can be kind of operating in the day-to-day world and the be here now world. We can be in the power of now with an eternal view and a mind. There's the eternal view, and there's a passing moment that's different now than it was when you first started to listen to me. But there's also some kind of mind. There's a consciousness that can see the long run and what's here right now and join those together. And I think that when you think of Tantra as sutra, when you think of Tantra as weaving, like we're trying to sew together again. We're trying to sew together again. The needle either makes a hole or makes it holy or goes through the hole. And we sew together the eternal with the temporal. We sew together the other with each other. We sew together the ideal with the practical. We sew together the whole of our life from beginning to the end and back again. I mean, even if you're materialist, as my friend Philip Glass mentioned, even if you're a materialist, you can see, even though I die, even if you think that when I die it's all over, but our kids, or our friends go on. And this world has gone on for millions of years possibly, maybe more on a subtle level. So something goes on and something stops, and there's a mind that can handle this and see both sides. So Tantra is weaving the virtue into the everyday life. Tantra is also seeing the eternal in the passing moment, and seeing the passing moment dissolve or kiss the eternal. Tantra, in that sense, is weaving. I think Tantra also, though, in the Iamblichus Neoplatonic way, is Tantra is being still long enough to have a picture of our whole big, giant self, our higher self, and to create a field or a lake where the swans can land, to create a place like the Mayflower Bookshop, where sacred conversations can take place. To create a place like Om Cafe originally was intended to do. When I was there with Colleen Smiley and I, the whole idea, and it still is happening there, Allen Ginsberg had been there, Rosa Parks. I mean, a lot of cool people have visited the Mayflower Bookshop, from mayors to Henry Ford II to guys like who purchased books out of here like ZZ Top. I mean, a lot of people throughout, there's so many that it's not even worth going through, but some really cool people have tried to awaken the mind to be a co-creative agent between what's above and below. Iamblichus thought that the highest magic was to invoke your own higher self or your virtue. So Tantra is an attempt to invoke the virtue in each other to be enlightened or to be at peace, to find the rest of ourselves. There's too much to say right now, so I'll say more about Tantra in the future. But I think that Tantra, when you're all crazy and you're too busy and you're on medications and you're doing too many things and you're rushing and you're spiritually lazy because you're too busy to come to the Mayflower Bookshop or to read Steiner, Osho, Tibetan Buddhism, Blavatsky, Manly Haw, Neoplatonism, too busy for yoga and meditation, is a certain form of laziness, So I think Tantra is trying to find the other self that we've lost and bring it back to us, You can't lose, when you really love somebody, you can never lose them. You might lose the object or the form of that love. So real Tantra is to weave our higher selves together for the great ideals that all men and women were created equal, like the American ideal, all men and women were created equal with the potential to become enlightened and fully flowered with intelligence of the heart. And so I think Tantra is really like in the voice of the silence, to awaken the Kundalini of the heart, not the Kundalini that just rains down fire or arouses fire, but the heart that can communicate. We'll talk more about Tantra. I love that idea. It's a great idea. And it's a great ideal to strive for. Bless your heart. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.